Hold on to your butts. These are the Squashbuckler Diaries. Welcome back. My name is Guy Hasson, and you're listening to the Squashbuckler Diaries podcast, the epic fantasy podcast about Joy Shelley, the girl who lives and dreams. We are at episode 199 of season 1. We haven't even begun, and we've done so much. And actually, it's nice that this is episode 199 because a lot of things that happened in the past are coming together today. So I'm going to mention them as we go along in the story itself. But this is, even though this doesn't have a number, like the Land of the Giants arc had numbers in it, in the episodes, we are now at episode, I think, 4 of this arc. We have gone backwards in time each time, and now we are still going backwards in time. So we saw what happened, then we saw what happened before that, and now we'll see the seed of doubt that began Joy's path of doubt, which we have seen so far. So let's see what happens, and then we can talk about it. Episode 199, A Seed of Doubt. Joy's age 5, told by the Red Dragon. There are so many things I've told you about Joy Shelley, the little human girl I lovingly called Dragon Little. I do look at her as the daughter I could never have. There are so many things to tell that I fear there will never be enough time to tell them all. And yet, as much as she amazes me, every day of her life, she is human, and bad things can happen to her when villains are involved. I have already told you of the evil fairy Forest King, how he was caught by Dragonfather, the name I gave Dragon Little's father, and how he was humiliated by Dragon Little when she was only 2 years old. By the way, this happened at episode 8 of this podcast, called The Secret Weapon, I believe. Moving on, I've told you that he had been imprisoned, along with the other villains that Dragon Little and Dragonfather defeat, imprisoned in the infinite prison in the belly of Bonny's revenge. I have also told you how the evil fairy king holds a grudge. Again, side note, this is episode 9 of this podcast, so check that out. And now, perhaps, it is time to tell you how the evil fairy king tried to repay that debt. When Dragonfather was away in his waking world for 16 more hours, Dragon Little would often spend her time in the infinite prison talking mostly to the villain General Hawk, but also to other villains. 2 weeks before the last story had occurred, the evil fairy king decided to speak. "Little girl," I heard him whisper to Dragon Little, for I cannot see inside the belly of the ship, but a dragon's hearing can hear a whisper from the other side of the world. "Oh, look who started talking all of a sudden," I heard Dragon Little say happily. "That was quite a catch, little girl, to defeat the giant cobra god. Quite a catch." "Thank you very much. We always catch the bad guys." Yes, you do," he whispered in a way that hurt the inside of my ears. "You always catch the bad guys. But this time was pretty dangerous, wasn't it? I heard the cobra struck you so hard that if your father hadn't—" "Yeah, he always catches me." "But what if he wasn't there? He isn't always there to—" "I don't need him. I'm fine on my own, and he always catches me." Yes, he does." There was a short silence, and then he spoke again. "But who is there to catch him? Who protects him? He can protect himself, sure, but all it takes is one mistake, and something really bad could happen to him. Can you protect him? Can you catch him every time?" Yes, I can, every time." "Ah, good. I just wanted to know." "I can save him every time." Then there was silence, and then Dragon Little stormed out of the infinite prison and onto Bonny Revenge's deck. She seemed upset, but it soon passed. I did not give that incident any more thought. However, as you may have guessed, this incident occurred about 2 weeks before Dragon Lil, the little pirate girl who leapt into action without fear, began to doubt herself. This is how that doubt began. Tomorrow I will tell you of the consequences the evil fairy king suffered for what he had done to Dragon Lil. Told by the Red Dragon. Hashtags Joy, Justin, the evil fairy forest king. No, the evil forest fairy king. The infinite prison, the infinite corridor. And so we see how the evil forest fairy king tried to have his revenge on Joy from the inside of his cell. And that has had ripples for her in her future. In like the next few weeks, she began to doubt herself. She began to not be certain, not be sure. This girl that leapt into anything without question began to doubt herself, which brought on the leadership talk that she had with her father, which led on to her thinking that villains could be her group, the people she would lead. This one thing could have many ripples in the future. However, as we'll begin to see next time, the actual ripples in the future are not what we think they are, because things don't go one way in human behavior, in history. One thing leads to another thing, which maybe it's opposite. And maybe it's opposite in a way you didn't think it has an opposite. But things can happen in many different ways, and the ripples are not always straightforward, or the way you would intend them to be, or you would imagine them to be. So anyway, for more ripples and more excitement in Joy's life and learning how things affect Joy, we're going to follow her through her entire life, and something really big is happening now. Come back tomorrow for the next episode, for the 200th episode. Also, tell your friends, share this podcast with your friends, please, so you can have something to talk about, so we can spread the word about it, and more people can enjoy it. Thank you. And now, the credits. The Squashbuckler Diaries are written and read by me, Guy Hasson. All the tags mentioned in this story are searchable at the website. You can find all the stories there in written form, and in fact 150 Squashbuckler Diaries more. The Squashbuckler Diaries is the diary of Joy Shelley, the girl who lives in dreams. She'll be called the Forgotten Girl by her father. She'll be a true heroine. She'll change the world. This project shows her entire life from birth to death. Check out the website at guyhasson.com. That's GUYHASSON.com. I've been an author and a playwright for more than 30 years, and this is the first time I've used the GuyHasson.com website, because The Girl in the Dream is my life project. If you have questions, if you want to comment, please do. You can comment at the website or email me at guyhasson@gmail.com. That's GUYHASSON, GUYHASSON @gmail.com. The theme music is called Brass Gentleman and is created by Thomas Howardek. My name is Guy Hasson, and this is my life project. Come back tomorrow, and tomorrow, and tomorrow for more.